good right now?
Concert.
Testing, 1 2 1 2.
Can you hear me?
Testing. Oh, I have my phone down. Okay, cool. Most on Christ. Hey, shalom. You have about Shema with Shah, Barak Thumbs, all the brothers. Yo, Shema, all the thumb by Shema with Shah, all the sisters. Isupk Durham, North Carolina Sabbath service. Preaching Officer Mahaya with me conducting as well as Officer Yanazar. You understand? So we're going to get straight into it, man. If you could blow the horn to commence the Sabbath service. So Amadium, which means to stand. Wapanyak Wadum, means rise and face the east. We'll start off with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shemayim. Kodash.
Haya.
Shemka.
Yahweh. Malakwaka.
Taba'a.
Ratazayaka. Haya.
Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kowa.
Haya.
Bashamayim.
Lathunlanawa. Lakam.
Cal.
Yawum.
Wasalaknawa.
Kabawathnawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kabawath Yanawa. Wala'a. Tabi'ayanawa. Banasaya 1. Abol. Abishayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwat. Waha'ala. Wa'ataparad. La'olunium. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Pray for the power of the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Babakashah. Nathunlanawa. Hakak.
Larapa'ah. Kal Makala. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayam. Hakak. Lahakwium. Hamathium. Hakak. Arakarawath. Hatama'ala. Lagarashun.
Bahashem
Yahweh Shah.
Tawada Aman.
In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you. So be it.
The prayer for the blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh.
Wa
Yahweh Shai.
Wa
Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawapium.
Hasaranyum.
Hakotazayanyum.
Akoya
Yoyum. Wahagwathian.
Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Tawara Aman.
Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahana. the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it.
The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Aisha.
Aisha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Haharium.
Al-Haharium.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Izaria.
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 Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hanala'a.
Hanala'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Malayala.
Malayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal Rai.
Makal Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazaatka.
Taza'aka.
Wabawa'atka.
Wabawa'aka.
Mayatha.
Mayatha.
Iwalam.
Iwalam. I will lift mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From which cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
shade
Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Dami-Alakah.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Thakarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa Al-Thashakwat.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al.
Al-Kayahana.
Kayahana. Awayabyaka.
Al-Yabyaka.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Yaira Yamwa.
Yaira Yamwa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Yaitazawa.
Yaitazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarawa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Wanakakidam.
Magoya.
Magolia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yashala.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakatwa.
Yakadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Barayath.
Barayath.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Aholia.
Aholia.
Adawam.
Arawam.
Yashamai.
Oyashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagariam.
Wahagariam.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'ima-1.
Waimawan.
Wa'ima-lak.
Waimalak.
Palashat.
Palashah.
I'm Yeshabia.
I'm Yeshabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanyalawat.
Labanyalawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham.
Kamajin.
Kamadian.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kwayashwan.
Wayashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayan.
Bayan.
Da'ara.
Da'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
Ladama.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yabmawa.
Yabmawa.
Ka'arab.
Ka'arab.
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak.
Wakatazal.
Wakatazal.
Mana'ai.
Mana'ai.
Kal Nesaya Kamwa.
Cow Nasai Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarawa.
Naya Rasha.
Naya Rasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Af. Na'awath.
Na'awaf.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagogila.
Kagogla.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanyararaka.
Lapanyararaka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Tabi'aira.
Tabayaira.
Ya'ira.
Yaira.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Harayam, Khan, Tharadapma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyahum, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shimka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabaholwa, Aid, Wayakaparawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadayawa, Kaya Atha, Shimka, Yahweh, Labadka, Aliyawan, Al-Kaharatazar. In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Arad and like Ze'ed. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah and as Almunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. All right, you sharp. You're gonna be seated. Pick right back up where we left off at. Right. You understand? For those you want to read along, you want to tag along, you can just go to blueletterbible.org. Right. Blueletterbible.org. Then type in Genesis chapter 50 at the top. Scroll down to verse 17. Verse 17 is where we'll be picking back up. And if you press that button that says tools on the side, it'll pull up the Assyrian Hebrew for you. That way you'll be able to follow along as we read, right? So whenever you're ready. Cut one cut. This is the book of Genesis chapter 50 and verse 17 in Hebrew. Ka, the Amarwa, La Yawasap, Ana'a, Wa'a, Na'a, Pashai, Akiaka,
Waka Ta'atham Kaya Rai Gamalawaka Wa'aitha Sha'a Na'a Lapashai Ibadya Alahaya Abiaka Wayabatka Yawasap Badabaram Aliyawa. Verse 18. Waya Lakwa Gum Akyawa Waya Polwa Lapanyawa Waya Marwa Hana Nawa Laka La Ibadium. Verse 19. Waya Amar Alaham Yawasap Al Faya Ra'awa Kaya Hathakath Alahayam Anya. Verse 20. Wa'atham Hashabatham Aliyah Ra'ai Alahayam Hashabah Lataba Lama'ain Aisha Kayawam Hazah Laha Kayath Aim Rab or Rabah. Verse 21. Wa'aitha Al Hayara'awa Anakia Al Kalakal Al-Kalakal Athkam Wa'ath Tapakam Waya Nathum Waya Nakam Salakia Awathum Waya Debar Al Laban. Verse 22. Wayashab Yawasap Bamatazarium Hawa'a Wabayath Abiyawa Wayahaya Yawasap Ma'ath Wa'aishor. 23 is the last one. Verse 23. Wayara'ah Yawasap La'aparium Banya Shalashium Gum Banya Makayar Ban Manashah Yaladwa Al Barakaya or a Barakia Yawasap. Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 50 and verse 17 in English. So shall we say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren, and their sin, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. 18.
Because they sent the they sent the messenger to him. Sent the messenger just like, hey, go, you know what I'm saying? Go send this message to him. Remind him that this is what our father said before he passed. You know what I mean? Trying to, cause they assuming, he just got the worst plan for them. Father gone now nothing is the glue is gone. You know what I'm saying? The reason to keep him humble and peaceable man is gone now. So they fed fear. You know what I mean? He's gonna just rain down hell on them.
He's the second most powerful man in Egypt. Verse 18. And his brethren, Salakia, also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be thy servants. Verse 19. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? Meaning, don't worship me. I'm not God.
Right.
That's what he's telling them here. Verse 20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me. But God, the Most High, meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. So what he's telling them is that who would have known, basically, who could have known? You couldn't have known what God was planning to do with this one little incident. He saved millions of people, literally. Millions of people were saved because of this event. You understand? It speaks to the wisdom of the Most High. Mm. Verse 21. Now, therefore, fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them. That's called brotherhood. Verse 22. And Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's house. And Joseph lived 110 years. His father's house, meaning his whole family, everybody in there. Verse 23. And Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the third generation. You understand? So he saw Ephraim to his grandchildren. And he saw his great grand, right? Mm-hmm. To the third generation. That means he saw 3 generations of his son's children.
Kids.
Great grandchildren, great grandchildren.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were brought up upon Joseph's knees. So he got to get that honorable death, you know. Right. All the grandchildren is all around him. You know what I'm saying? And they know they know that's the what is it? The paternal father. You know what I'm saying? He's the big granddad, big papa.
Reason we all here.
That's right. And they were able to see, this is the thing. Like, we don't really take account of stuff like this, but this is the continuation of the family. This is a family unifying event, even in death. We're all brought together, man. And we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back. This is the way the Most High made us, man. We're gonna get it back. It's wonderful, man. It really is, you know. Yeah. You understand? Like, we don't even have our grandfather, you know, like, damn, you know. I was reading about gangs, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, the gang culture, which I never was in a gang in my life. Never. I've been around gangs all my life. I've been around gangs all my life, but I never got into a gang. You know, but I understood the reason why gangs prosper is because broken families and not having the males. You understand? Because the young men are looking for father-like figures, men to look up to, strong men. So they find this. I mean, this is common knowledge now. They find this in gang activity. You understand? Because really, they know, in their nature, know that they're born to be warriors any damn way. You understand? That's what it is. And with this, with the reclamation to reclaim our culture, we don't need no gang. You know why? Because your family is your gang. Your real family and everybody around you in your neighborhood have the same purpose. You understand? To grow strong families and to grow a strong nation. You understand? That's where we got to get to. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 50, and verse 24. In the Hebrew, Waya Amar Yawasap al Akiyawa, Anakia, Math, Wa Alahayim, Paquad, Yapaquad, Athakam, Waha Ilah, Athakam, Mun, Ha'aratazar, Haza'ath, Al, Ha'aratazar, Ashar, Nashabai, La Abraham, Laya Tazakak, Wala Ya'aikwab, and to Jacob. Verse 24. No, I just read 24. Verse 25. Waya Shabai Yawasap Ath Banya Yasha'ala La Amar Paquad Ya Paquad Alahayim Athakum Waha Ilatham Ath I Tazamathia Mawa Salaki Mazah. Verse 26. Wayamath Yawasap Ban Ma'ath Salakia Ma'ah Wa Aishar Shanyam Waya Thanatwa Waya Kanatwa Athwa Waya Yasham Ba'ara one Ba'ara Ba'matazarium. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3. So we get 4 in the next chapter. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 51, and verse 1. Wa'ala Shemawath Banya Yasha'ala Haba'ayim Matazaria Ma Ath Ya Aikwab Ayash Waba Yathwa Ba'awa. Verse 2. Wa'awabun Reuben. Shema'ain Shema'aiwan Simeon. Shema'aiwan Loya Waya Hawada. Verse 3. Yashakar Zabalawan Wa Banyamyan. Verse 4. Dan Wana Napolia. Wana Pakalia. Gad Wa Ashar and Ashar. Why Ashar? Come. Okay, let's go back to, oh my goodness. Yes, it's tripping on me now. But I gotta go back. Previous chapter, prior chapter. Okay, 50. We read from 24. Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 50, and verse 24. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and the Most High will surely visit you and bring you out of this land into the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. So he already knows. So he already was wise enough to separate the Israelites from the Egyptians. You understand? So they could make that move that he knew was going to happen, but something got in the way. Verse 25. And Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and he shall carry up my bones from hence. Verse 26. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. Embalming means that they just put oils and stuff on it to preserve the body for the journey, and so it didn't stink. That's what they did. It wasn't exactly like the Egyptians did, making mummies and all that. We didn't do that because we knew where we were supposed to go. When we die, we're supposed to go back to the earth. You understand where we came from? We wasn't trying to take our possessions into the
next life.
General Muhammad said that they would kill the cat and the dog and mummify the dog and the cat. Jesus. To take with them, so when they wake up in a new life, they have their dog and their cat.
You imagine if
You imagine them poor servants. When Pharaoh died, thinking like, damn, we got
to go. They would kill the servants, man, and put them in there too, man. Hey, man, I'm trying to tell you, brother, we got the right thing. Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 51 and verse 1 in English. Now, these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Verse 2. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Verse 3. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Verse 4. Dan and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. I didn't see a parium. You must be in the next joint then. Okay. Okay, I got it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, and verse 5 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya Kaunapash Yatazaya Yaradka Yaikwab Shabayim Napash Waya Wasap Haya Bamatazarium. Verse 6. Wayamath Yawasap Wakal Akyawa Wakal Hada one no some Hada war Hahawa ah. Verse 7. Wabunya Yasha Allah Parwa Waya Sharat Tazawa Waya Rabwa Waya Itazamwa Bama'ad Ma'ad Watham Mala'ah Ha'aratazar Athum. Verse 8. Wayakum Malak Kadash Al Matazarium Ashar La'ah Yadai Ath Yawasab. Verse 9. Waya Amar Al Imwa Hana Im Banya Yasha Allah Rab Rabah Wa Itazawum Mamanawa or Mamanwa. Verse 10. Haba Natha Kakama Lawa Pun Yaraba Wahaya Kaya Fakwara Anu Na Malakma. That's war. I remember that word. Wana Wasap Gum. From the Most High is a man of war. That's that word Malakma. That's the war. I remember that. Hawa Al Shana Anyawa Wana Lakam Banwa Wa Ala Man Ha'aratazar. Verse 11. Waya Shayamwa Al Yawa Sharai. No, Sharia. Salaki Sharia. Masayam Lamain Anathwa Basa Balatham Wayabun Arya, Masa Kunwath, La Parai Ath, Pathum Wa'ath, Ra'ima, what is that? Ma'im wa Salakia, Ra'im Masas. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 in verse, chapter 51 in verse 5, Salakia. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was already in Egypt. So with Joseph, that means it was 71. And Joseph died, verse 6, and Joseph died and all his brethren in all that generation. Meaning time is passing on. You understand? Verse 7, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly. Meaning the brothers was putting in work and the sisters was putting it out. And multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty. These are strong families. That's what it means. Strong families, because if the family unit is strong, the nation is strong. And the land was filled with them. These brothers we doing like we supposed to, man. Fruitful and multiply. Understand? Verse 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt with not Joseph. Like he wasn't around. What he's saying, everybody from Joseph's generations is dead. So several generations have passed. You understand? In order for us to be, growing that quickly, it can't be just one generation. It has to be multiple generations. We understand that. So there rose up a new king that wasn't around when Joseph was doing the do and saving Egypt and millions of people at the behest of the Most High. Okay, so this new king, he didn't know what was going on. He just viewed the Israelites as strange people, foreigners. You understand? He knew not Joseph. Verse 9, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. So now the Egyptians are the natives of that particular part of the land, right? So for him to say that we're more than them, this tells you that several generations have passed and we are growing like wildflowers, And so he sees us as a threat because he knows that they're not us. We're not them. We're a different nation. We both dark-skinned. You understand? We both are what we would call black people today in color, but we're a different nation. And see, this is the thing that in the Isupk and the Commander General Yohana, we try, we get people to understand this. Understand? We are not Africans at all. And this is what this is proven right here. We happen to live there. You understand? Christ had to flee into there. Why? Because they looked like us, almost. And then we had to go in there after the Romans destroyed Jerusalem. We fled in there again because they looked like us and we could hide amongst them. And they persecuted us for 1,400 years, man. You understand? And we spread all over Africa because, as you can see, we be putting it down. Okay? So, and I'm just telling you I'm just trying to say this to you in a way that our people who just coming in, can understand what's going on. You understand? That's part of our responsibility here as priests of the Lord, right? Okay, so let's go on. Verse 10, and listen to this carefully. Come on, let us deal wisely with them. You see what I'm saying? Now, this statement right here, every nation that we ever came across made this same statement. Let us deal wisely with them. We just read the 83rd Psalm. Did we not? And in that, they said, let us, take crafty counsel against them. Same thing. So every nation that we came across had the same idea about us. Because you know why? They saw the potential of our greatness, man. That's why. That's why. If I'm sitting here, right? Me and this brother sitting here, and I'm retarded, and this brother is of normal intelligence, do we have to do anything to hinder me? You understand? No. Because he knows that I can't stay on that level. You understand? But if we sitting here and he knows that he could see that I'm a great nation or the potential of a great nation, and he's envious of that or he's fearful of that, then he's going to make a move, you understand, to counter that. That's all it is. You understand? And then they found out they can prosper from our destruction. You understand? That's the whole thing. They found out that they could prosper from us and that we was a peaceful people, you understand what I'm saying, who believed in the Lord, you understand, but they was like vicious towards us, man. They put us in slavery, man. That's why we call this place Egypt. It's the exact same thing, man. However you want to try to put it, it's the exact same thing. I'm going to read verse 10 again. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any way, any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and go get them up out of the land. So he's saying like, yo, Lord, let's get these cats out of here. You know, they might become our enemies, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't quite. It worked out that way, but in a different manner. Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters. You understand? To afflict them with burdens. So in other words, they began to make new laws, restricting us, taking away our rights, disenfranchising us, which simply means that you don't have access to legal recourse and that you can't benefit off your own culture and your own whatever you produce. The nations around you benefit more for what you produce than you do. Sound familiar, black people? You're in the same state right now. Other nations, I don't care what black people produce, even if it's music, even if it's a dream, a show, anything that another nation is going to benefit from it more than us. It's the same thing, man. This is why we know that we in the truth, because we understand these things. We're caused by the generals, Commander General Yohana, the generals and the officers, the captains above us. We caused to understand these things by coming to class and reading this Bible and trying to get the proper understanding and to know that we're in Egypt again, man. You understand? As the scripture says in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. We were going to Egypt again by way of ships. And all of these things that we're describing here in these verses is relevant to today. It's the same thing, man. You're disenfranchised. They passed laws like when after the Civil War, we were supposed to be free. They made new laws to put us back on the bottom, man. That's called disenfranchisement. You understand? You have less right to legal avenues, and you have, you know, you can't benefit off of what you produce. Like if I may, sir, I know I'm running on, but I'm okay. If you're a slave and you invent something, which was something that was happening regularly here in America, especially in North Carolina and places like that, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, there was a lot of inventions going on, and you might invent something, in Tennessee as well. You might invent something, but the master is going to take it to the patent office and get credit for it. And he might give you a steak dinner as your reward. And he reaps the profits, and his family becomes generationally wealthy. Ask Jack Daniels. Okay, Salakia. Okay. Therefore, Bill Pharaoh. Therefore, they did, verse 11. Therefore, did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. Pithom, and Ramses. What's a treasure city? Let me one more thing, sir. Okay, so we're doing a lecture series, right? And so one of the things, I found a map of North Carolina. Well, it was the whole United States. They had North Carolina, then they had another map. And all what it was showing you where slavery was. And the darker areas, like the black areas, was the heavier concentration of slave plantations and slavery on the map. And what we saw was that everywhere there was a heavy concentration of slavery, there was a nearby major city. A major city was built in that area thereby. You understand what that means? That means when we out there on the corners and we say we built this country, you understand, one way or another, we did. And then and the lecture, I'm going to present that as part of the lecture. You understand? And these kind of things help you to understand what's going on here. This is Egypt all over again. But they just got the veil over our eyes and we don't understand it. You understand? You know why you don't understand it? Because you don't know that you're Israelites. You're never going to understand this Bible until you accept the fact that you're Israelites. Because I'm talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If you ever want to understand this Bible, you have to accept the fact that you're an Israelite first. And then you'll see the Bible, correctly through the right lens, so to speak. One more, right? Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied. Sound familiar? You understand? They was doing all kind of terrible, wicked things to us and still are. But our population continues to grow. We still have more population growth than Caucasian peoples. And the Hispanics have a more population growth, even more than so-called blacks. You understand? But that's why they have all of these alternative lifestyles and things that they're introducing to us, because it decreases the population. You understand? Okay. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. You understand? Now, is that not America? America is grieved at us for growing. They, when I was a kid back in the 60s, right? They used to say, and it was a known fact, they used to be amazed that we survived all of the things that they did to us and grew and built cities, treasure cities, man. They built all of these cities that make money for them. That's a treasure city. You understand? New York, Chicago, Charlotte, Atlanta, New Orleans. You understand? All of these places in the South, like Charlotte, Wilmington, Florida, and Alabama, and Mississippi, and oh my God, Louisiana, the whole Mississippi Delta, the whole valley there, the Mississippi Valley was a heavy concentration of slavery, because that's where the commerce was going on. Anyway, I'm giving away too much. Anyway, it's like it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 13 in Hebrew.
Oh no, we're gonna clip right there.
Okay,
for time's sake, we're gonna clip right there.
Yeah, I ain't no time to do that quick.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta get that move.
Short.
We gotta.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, we're gonna clip it right there for time's sake.
He's going with y'all.
No, he gonna top one.
Okay.
But we're gonna clip it up right there for time's sake. You know what I'm saying? So next week, Lord Allah, we'll pick up, you know what I'm saying, Exodus chapter 1 and verse 12, right? Slide at verse 13. We'll pick it up verse 13 in the Hebrew. Book of Exodus chapter 1, verse 13 in the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Keep bringing out this truth. The brothers bringing out was heavy, man, because this going into Egypt, and that's slavery in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? America has done nothing but mimic that oppression, man. Mimic that oppression, mimic, you know what I'm saying? All the taskmasters, they're nothing but your modern day supervisor, man. Your modern day, your shift leader. You know what I'm saying? We work at type of slavery. They don't want you to take a second to do nothing. They got a motto. They say you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Right. I mean, for these entire 8 hours, we're gonna get as much labor out of you as we can. They want you to, you can't be on your phone. Some slaveries, they'll take your phone away. And for 8 hours, you can't even have your phone.
51 and 13.
No, Exodus 1. Was it Exodus?
No, that was Genesis 51 and 13. We read up to 12.
You sure? You was Exodus. You was reading Exodus 1.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no 51 in Genesis.
Okay, Slovakia.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make that change.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's your modern day taskmasters, man. You know what I mean? America has done nothing but mimic Egypt 100%, man. 100% from the actual labor and taskmasters and making our life, rigor, as the scriptures say, and this hell, you know what I mean, to the damn monuments and the structure of their government and all, and the hierarchy and all of that, man. Just nothing but modern day Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to clip it up right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, we're going to pick it up next week. Exodus chapter 1, verse 13. You know what I'm saying? Lord Allah, we're going to keep bringing out this truth, man. You understand? So just to pay a medium. Christ. Men of Israel, gird thyself to prepare us through the Torah. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabrakiyah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabrakiyah.
So mighty, which means to stand. Weapon Yahweh, rise and face the east. Start off with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Taba'ah.
Ratazayaka.
Hayah.
Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Latandanawa. Lakam. Cow. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawathnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawathnawa. Wala. Tabiayanawa. Bonasaya 1. Abol. Habashayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wa'atapara. La'ulanyam. Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power of the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Baba Kashah. Nathan Lenawa. Hakak.
Hakak.
La Para'ah.
Larpa'ah.
Kal Makala. Wakal Madawa.
Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakwiyam. Hamathiam. Hakak.
Al-Raka'awath.
Hatama'Allah. Lagarashan.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Tawada Aman.
In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it.
Pray for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh.
Why
Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Alahayim.
Why Alahayim.
Matazabia,
Matazabia,
Alawapia Hana,
Alawapiahana,
Alawapium,
Halawapium,
Hasaranium,
Hasaranium,
Hakotazayanium,
Hakotazayanium,
Hakoyoyum,
Hakoyayoyum,
Wahaquatian,
Wahagwathian,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashim, Yahweh Shai,
Bashim Yahweh,
the water Aman,
the water Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it.
The 121st Psalm in the Hebrew. Aisha,
Aisha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al-Hahariam,
Al-Hahariam,
Ma'ayan,
Mayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'a,
Izaria,
Izaria, Izaria,
Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shemayam,
Wa'aratazah,
Wa'aratazah,
Al-Yathan,
Al-Yathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Wagalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Ayanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hanala'ah,
Hanala'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'a,
Yayashun,
Yayashun,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Aliyah,
Aliyah,
Yamyaka,
Yamyaka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashemash,
La'ah,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makalrai,
Makarai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaatka,
Tazaaka,
Wawaatka,
Wabuaka,
Ma'aitha,
Mayatha,
Wa'aid Iwalam.
Wa'ayat Awalam. In English, I will lift mine eyes into the
I
hills,
will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
from whence cometh my help.
From which cometh my help?
My help coming from the Lord,
My help coming from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
Suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
shade
Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming
and
in
thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim,
Al-Dami Alaka.
Al Damiyalaka,
Al-Thakarash.
Al Thakarash,
Wa Al-Thashakwat.
Wa Al Tashakwat,
Al.
Al
Kayahana.
Kayahana,
Awayabyaka.
Awa Yabyaka,
Yahama.
Yahama,
Yawan.
Yawan,
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka.
Al Imaka,
Yarayamwa.
Yarayamwa,
Sawada.
Sawada,
Wayatha.
Wayatha,
Ya'aitazawa.
Ya'aitazawa,
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Altazapawanyaka,
Amarwa.
Amorwa,
Lakawa.
Lakawa,
Wanakakida.
Wanakakidam,
Magoya.
Mongolia,
Wala'a.
Wala'a,
Yazakar.
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yashala,
Iwada.
Iwada,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Now Aitazawa.
Nawa Aitazawa,
Laba.
Laba,
Yakhadwa.
Yakhadwa,
Al-Yaka.
Alyaka,
Baraya.
Baryath,
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa,
Waholya.
Aolia,
Adawam.
Alawam,
Wayashima.
Wayashamai,
Alayam.
Alayam,
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba,
Wahagaria.
Wahagarium,
Gabal.
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan.
Waimawan,
Wa'aimalak.
Waimalak,
Palashak.
Palashat,
I'm a Shabya.
Am Yashabya,
Tazawar.
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar,
Nalawa.
Nalawa,
Imam.
Imam,
Hayawa.
Hayawa,
Zarawai.
Zarwai,
Labanilawat.
Labanya Lawat,
Salah.
Salah,
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham,
Kamadjin.
Kamadian,
Kasaya.
Kasaya,
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah,
Kayabian.
Kayabian,
Anakal.
Banakal,
Kwayashwan.
Kwayashwan,
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan.
Bayan,
Da'ara.
Dara,
Hayawa.
Hayawa,
Daman.
Daman,
La'anama.
Ladama,
Shayatamwa.
Shayathamwa,
Nada.
Nada,
Yabmawa.
Yamawa,
Kayarab.
Karab,
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak,
Katazol.
Wakatazol,
Manai.
Manai,
Counter Kamwa.
Kaunasai Kamwa,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Marwa.
Amarwa,
Nayarashah.
Nayarashah,
Lanawa.
Lanawa, Ath,
Na'awa.
Na'awath,
Alahayam.
Alahayam,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa.
Shayathamwa,
Kagogila.
Kagogola,
Kakwash.
Kakwash,
Lapanyarawaka.
Lapanyararaka,
Kaash.
Kaash,
Tabi'ira.
Tabayaira, Yaira,
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba,
Talahat.
Talahat,
Harayam.
Haryam,
Khan.
Khan,
Daradapma.
Daradapma,
Basairika.
Basairika,
Wabasa.
Wabasa,
Wapafka.
Wapathka,
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam,
Mala'a.
Mala'a,
Panyahum,
Panyahum,
Qualawan,
Qualawan,
Wayabaquashwa,
Wayabaquashwa,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Wayabaholwa,
Idai,
Idiai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadayawa,
Wayadayawa,
Kaya Atha,
Kayatha,
Shimka,
Shimka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Yabadka,
Al-Yawan,
Al-Yawan,
Al-Kalha-Aratazar,
Al-Kaha-Ratazah. In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
and be not still,
O
O
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
Taking crafty counsel
against thy people
against thy people,
and consulted against
consulted against
thy hidden ones. They have said,
they have said,
come
and
and let us cut them off
let us cut them
from being a nation, that the name of Israel
the name of Israel.
may be no more in remembrance.
No more in
For they have consulted together
they have consulted together
with one consent.
one consent,
They are confederate against thee.
confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom
tabernacles of
and the Ishmaelites
Ishmaelites
of Moab
Moab,
and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them.
joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah, do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
to the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
to Javan,
at the brook of Kison,
brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the
They
earth.
became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb
like Oreb,
and like Zeeb,
like Zeeb,
yea,
yea,
all their
all
princes,
their princes,
Azabah and Azalmunah,
and Azalmunah,
who said, let us take to
let us
ourselves
take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
houses of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
My power,
make them like a
make
wheel,
them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the
as
wind,
the stubble before the wind,
as a fire burneth a
as
wood,
the fire burneth a wood,
and as a flame
and as a flame
set the mountains on
set the
fire.
mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
Thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
they
name.
may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let me put to shame
let them be put to shame,
and perish, that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High over all the earth.
Stand, saw, turn to face the teacher. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah, Yajim Atah. Class dismissed.